step up to the fight, playing with powers they don't understand. Will they fuck it all up or will they save the land? Treachery, vanity, loitering and worse. They are their own worst enemies. These fuckers don't need no cause. Authors and dragons. Authors and dragons. Their powers combined, a group of fantasy authors take on a sadistic games master. Will they survive? Behold, 'tis Authors and Dragons. Authors and Dragons! Authors and Dragons!
Hey everybody, I'm John Hartness, and I'll be playing the role of Fandingo the Fantastical, currently shit-drizzling bard of all trades. In real life, I don't swim in the sewers, and I write multiple series, including Quincy Harker Demon Hunter, Bubba the Monster Hunter, and the Black Knight Chronicles, among other things. So get out there and buy some shit, yeah?
Hello, hello. My name is Rick Gualtieri, and I play Silas Kane, mighty paladin of a god whose name he can't even say. In real life, well, I spent all day writing, so honestly, I don't even remember what the hell I write, but it's probably something horror comedy and such. That said, my newest Second String Savior, the audiobook, is now out, so go check that stuff out.
Hello, friends. My name is Robert Bevan. I play the role of Klaus Richter, the notorious rogue. In real life, I write the Caverns and Creatures series of comedy, fantasy novels, and short stories, starting with the first book, Critical Failures.
Hi there, my name's Steve Weverill, and I play Brandon Firemaster, sexually attractive monk. And in real life, I write Doomsayer Journeys. Go check them out.
Hi there, I am Drew Hayes, author of books such as NPCs, Fred the Vampire Accountant, and the Superpowered series, and of course the upcoming Underqualified Advice and Other Amusing Diversions, which will be out fall of 2019. But you might also know me as Drew Hayes, the guy who's going to be one of 6 hosting Authors and Dragons convention in September, in a few short weeks, as we are coming up on September 21st and 22nd. In fact, I dare say, as of this recording, it's exactly 1 month away from Authors and Dragons Con. So we're going to start dropping a little more info on you as we get closer, and that starts with some guest announcements. We started off last week, and we're going to keep the train going. So I get to announce that we're going to have some game panels going on. You're going to get to see us play. You're going to get to see some other folks that maybe we're still holding that out to tease play. But they're going to be run by Ben Robinson of the Geek Exploration podcast. If you've listened to the side quests, then you know Ben's work already. John, you want to take us into the next one?
Yeah, in addition to us doing our live Authors and Dragons episode 100 recording and recording some other stuff and having some special guest games that Ben's going to run, we're also going to have the live play Twitch streaming group Roll for Trouble, who's going to join us at Authors and Dragons Con, and they're going to run an episode of their game as well, and we might have some special guest stars joining the Roll for Trouble team. So check them out on Twitch so you can see what kind of silliness they get into most weeks, and then you can see them live at Bally's Las Vegas 1 month from today. Not that you know that, because when you listen to it, it'll be like 2 or 3 weeks from today, or shit, you might be late and listening to it and it's in the past. Oh my god, I'm so confused.
Maybe they're listening to it on the plane to Authors and Dragons Con. How fucking, meta wild would that be? So if I were to describe, Authors and Dragons Con, a big group of fun people hanging out in Vegas, which is just a big-ass party town, I would describe it as sort of like the exact opposite of being stuck in a river of what is probably shit. Which brings us to Fandingo.
Yay.
Who is hanging out in a river of what is probably shit. And I think seeing as round damage has now come into play, why don't we go ahead and do a round of initiatives? Don't forget to click on your character token before you do it.
Gotcha.
I already did that.
Drew's just finally given up on us remembering on our own, which is really smart.
Truly, you should be amazed I held on this long.
I wanted to feel like a responsible person.
No, I figure you forgot to remind us about half of the times that we forgot to do it.
I neither confirm nor deny anything.
I'm only giving you guys so much credit, pal. You are the captain of this shit ship. Fendingo rolls a 14.
All right.
Silas rolls an 18.
Klaus rolls a 24.
And Brandon Firemaster rolls a 14.
Okay. And Bjorg, for some reason, gets ahead of everyone, runs forward to try and help Fendingo, because, let's be honest, Bjorg's the only one of few that has what's most shaped like a conscience, if we're really drilling down to the truth of it.
Conscience is a sin.
Unfortunately, he slips in a pile of, well, let's just say he slips in something, goes tumbling forward, bashes his head against the Gordon creature, and what do you know? Bjorg is in goblin form, and Gordon is back.
Hey, Gordon, why don't you go swimming in shit to save Fendingo?
Yeah, you're a druid. Can you turn into some kind of shit dolphin or something?
You know, fun fact, according to the druid tenets, I cannot submerge myself in things that are unclean, so I'm just gonna stick to translating.
That was a sensible tenet. I can't really argue with that.
I would try to
All
say
right.
something witty, but I'll probably end up with a mouthful of shit, so...
And that's different from when you normally talk how?
I know it's coming.
That's shit entering his mouth, not exiting it.
That's true. Normally he's the dealer of the shit. All right. So, Klaus, you are hanging out, and Fendingo is in a river of, well, I didn't use brown on the map, but that was mostly an aesthetic choice.
All right. Now, Brandon's over there. Did we sent some sort of rope across? Is that right?
We have a rope that's tied on my end. Bjorg was holding the rope. And as was Silas, so I assume he's still got a hold of it.
Oh, good.
Yes.
All right. Well, I would like to try to cross the bridge while holding the rope. It's like on the plane where you put your own oxygen mask on first before you try to save the babies.
Yeah, but the baby isn't being washed away down the river as shit in that scenario.
Well, metaphorically, it is.
And it's much easier to pickpocket the babies if, if you wait a few minutes.
I will be fair to Fendingo. I even went back and checked the last episode to make exactly sure of his situation. He is, he's up on like a sloped edge. He's kind of like standing and gripping. It's not hard, but he's just kind of been, he's not in a great place emotionally. But he's also not like bursting down the river or anything. He's fairly stable.
But he is
He's
really
fine.
regretting not choosing the prestidigitation cantrip.
Just self-fireball. It smells better when it's burning, if nothing else.
We know after the last episode that is empirically not true.
Good point, yeah. Let it not be said that we do not test our theories.
All right, Klaus, yes, there's a rickety bridge and a rope tied across on one side with Silas holding the other. So I believe they've been using the rope as like a handhold, or that was the idea.
Time for a leap of faith.
That's what I would like to do. Do I need to roll something for that?
I believe the only thing you have to roll for, because jumping is defined. So as long as you have a running jump, then you can move a number of feet equal to your strength score. So what is your strength score?
I'll look that up, but I was talking more about using the rope handhold.
Oh, you said you wanted to do the leap of faith, so I was looking at the jump thing for you.
Not like Assassin's Creed.
Gotcha. I thought you were just like, screw it, I'm jumping.
Rick was being a dick saying, it's a leap of faith to believe that I'm not going to let go of this rope as soon as you...
Actually, that is 100% what I meant.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, God knows you can't trust the paladin. Okay. So, yes, I understand. I'm with you now. Okay, then you will want to do I will, I'm going to say acrobatics, because this really feels more like balancing than it does a strength-based
Yeah, that
check.
works for me. All right. I'm going to cross the bridge and say, Torrig is watching, Torrig is watching, Torrig is watching. Oh, Klaus rolls a 27.
Tora can't be watching if you roll a 27.
I think it's pretty safe to say that a 27 is going to be enough to get you across.
All right.
Klaus, you can stand on the side of Brandon. You have successfully crossed the, well, let's just say the river.
Yay.
See, Fandango? That's how it's done. You don't fall in the river of shit.
I'm giving you a big hug as soon as I get out of here, Brandon.
How much slack of rope do I have? Because I imagine it's a 50-foot.
I mean, that depends on how tightly you want to pull it. It's tied stationarily to the other side,
Okay.
so...
Well, my plan is to walk over here and lower the slack end down to Fandango so he can climb up.
You could probably just reach your hand out and give me a hand up.
Yeah, I really don't want to touch it.
And it's not your rope, so what do you care?
That is a hard one to argue with. Yeah, the rope's always standard out in 50 feet, so assuming you pulled it to here, are you gonna like loop it around this little stone thing, or are you just pulling the rope like over to here?
I'm just bracing the rope myself. Yeah.
Okay, so you're just pulling the rope. Then yeah, you easily have enough.
Okay.
Have plenty to lower down to Fandango.
All right, then I lower it down to Fandango.
Okay. Brandon Thighmaster.
Brandon Firemaster would, with a body of water involved and somebody drowning, would normally dive majestically into said body of water. But this is only partially water, so he's not going to do that. Silas seems to have the situation in hand. I will...
Words we've never uttered in 98 episodes.
Look, I'll absolutely put my faith in Silas when it means that I personally don't have to do something unpleasant. So I'll keep a hold of the rope on my end in case we need to reel Fandango in or something goes wrong.
Fandango, there is a rope that has been lowered down to you. But first, since you're starting your round in the goo, you take 4 damage.
Ow.
Don't open your mouth.
So, how far down am I?
Okay, so we talked about this last time. So it's about 6 or 7 feet deep in the middle of this part. It gets kind of deeper as you go. But since you're right up on the side, then there are sloped edges. We're saying you're at about 4-ish feet, but like you at a constant brace because you don't have a steady footing.
Right.
So you can get to about where it's 4 deep, but you definitely don't have steady footing at that point.
Okay. Then I'll try to grab the rope and pull myself up.
Okay, you grab the rope. I need athletics checks from you and from Silas, since he is the only, basically, point of fixture for that rope.
You said athletics?
Athletics.
Fandango rolls an 18.
Silas rolls an 11.
What does Fandango weigh, roughly? He's a half
About
elf?
150 pounds, because, yeah, he's a half elf.
Let's see. Well, it's not that long. Yeah, it would be a pretty brief amount of time you would really need the rope before you would just be up and able to brace yourself. Okay, I'll give it to you. We'll say that's enough for Fandango to haul himself out of the goo. You are dripping.
Thank you so much, Silas. I'm going to give him a big hug.
I'm going to shove him back in.
If anyone in the party wants to be covered in human waste, it's Silas.
I wish my money would have been on Klaus, but all right. Yeah.
That was
true.
an accident.
Yeah, whatever.
I mean, how else can you show Torag your willingness to suffer? This is a prime opportunity. Let's see. Gordon still wants to remain useful enough to not get turned back into goblin form. So while reading his book, he's going to just walk over real casual-like and drop a quick cure wounds on Silas, because Silas is looking pretty beat up at this point.
Oh, yeah, totally didn't even notice that. Thought you said he was going to walk over and drop a quick deuce.
I was thinking the same thing.
Silas, you recover 5 wounds. Or 5 hit points, sorry. From cure wounds. Very different thing.
Just as well, any open wound you've got is going to become really infected standing anywhere near Fandango at this point.
Alright, that is Gordon's turn. He'll go back over here. And Klaus, you are up.
Already? Alright. I would like to investigate this table or whatever this is right next to me.
Excellent. Okay. So it is sort of an elevated platform. I will give you that much off the bat. Go ahead and roll me an investigation check.
Klaus rolls a 10.
Okay. And go ahead and roll me a... Man, I miss dungeoneering as a skill. It covered so much random stuff. Oh, God. You know what? It never gets used. History. Give me a history check.
Give me a knowledge bullshit check.
Klaus rolls a natural 1. There's our Klaus.
You know what this is. This is, of course, one of the great jerk-off stones that ancient civilizations would build, where men of power and esteem would gather to spill their seed together in an offering to the gods to gain great blessings and enchantments.
Oh, shit. Well, I guess these other guys have got to spend a couple minutes getting across the bridge. I might as well get some great powers.
Thankfully, we're gonna say that burns your action. we're gonna say that Klaus has begun to unknot his trousers.
Brandon Firemaster takes a step away from Klaus.
I'll just give you that one as a reaction. You've seen this movie enough times to know what's playing. Silas Kane.
Silas is going to burn a spell point and misty step over to the other side.
Okie dokie.
Here, that's a bonus.
Yep,
That's
30
only a
feet.
bonus action, so he'll use his movement to join the fellows over here at the spooge table.
Would you care to roll an investigation?
Sure.
All right. Go and give me investigation, and then if you do well enough, if you hit 10 or better, give me a history.
Silas rolls a 19 investigation.
All right. Throw me a history. God, I hope you get a natural 1.
Silas gets another 19 for history.
That would have been amazing. Okay. History was a bit of a loose one, but there wasn't a great fit for this particular knowledge. So you look this over, and you have seen enough gates and piping and just general building bullshit in your time that you're like, oh, okay. I kind of recognize what this is. Now, this was some sort of turnstile mechanism to probably lower and raise those gates that you can easily see from where you're standing over at the far end of where the river ends.
Put your fucking pants on, Klaus.
So that's what looks like probably was here based on the sockets and the rubble. Someone has smashed the shit out of it. And yeah, double 19s is really good. I'll give you that one. And you're like, fudge. And there's definitely at least 1 or 2 pieces that are missing. So yeah, this would be the mechanism by which you would raise those gates, but it is in need of repair and potential replacements.
Still put your pants back on.
That's your turn. Brandon Thighmaster.
I don't believe that shit. I know my history.
Brandon Firemaster will reinforce Silas's opinion that this isn't some kind of wank platform. I'm just going to casually back Silas up here. Today is a good day for backing Silas up. But I will keep hold of the rope until Fandango makes it safely across. And
Why are you holding the rope? It's tied off to the stone.
I don't know, just to make myself seem useful, not join the conversation about this ancient jerk-off table.
When the alternative is watching Klaus jack off in front of you, suddenly Silas don't seem so bad.
I'm not going to make you watch.
You just got to get up on this raised dais, so it's very difficult not to watch.
Listen, you have to pay to watch, all right? That's a privilege.
All right, well, I'll tell you what, I'll use the fact that I'm looking everywhere but in Klaus's direction to search for an exit or some kind of indication of a way out of this place.
Okay, roll me a perception check.
An 8 perception.
The exit is right behind Klaus.
8 is above 5, so you can still see the two gates that y'all got last one. So down at the end, there's still two very large, obvious portcullis-style gates where the water is flowing out of both sections.
I was hoping there would be an exit that didn't involve wading through the shit river.
Then maybe you should try rolling higher than an 8. Fandango.
Oh, I suppose Fandango's going to try to cross the river of shit again. This time I'll hold on to the rope. Wait, I have the end of the rope. Gordon, come here and hold this rope.
All right, Gordon will come and he will take the rope, and then he will tie it to the Bjorg goblin.
Sounds great. And what do I need to roll to try and cross?
I believe we said acrobatics is what we're doing for the rope crossing, since it's all dex-based.
Alrighty. Fandango rolls a natural 20.
Ooh.
Well,
Nice.
this time, Fandango, having seen what happens when he is Cavalier, takes his time, dances across, really puts all the bard performance effort into it. Just making sure everybody sees that you don't always fall. And then you make it across very easily because you rolled a natural
I was
20.
gonna say dance moves. What are you doing? Like flash dance, except with dumping shit on yourself?
There's a lot of pirouettes to try and fling as much shit off of myself as possible.
I appreciate that. I also step away from Fandango.
I feel like I've wasted a spell slot on Stinking Cloud now.
All right. Yeah, what the hell? Gordon still has movement left. We'll just try and get him over there with you guys. He will throw in the acrobatics, and he will 8.
Oof.
Huh.
So Gordon begins to fall, and as a bonus action, you see Gordon vanish and a bird appear,
Yeah,
which flies over to
was really
here,
hoping for that shit, dolphin.
and then promptly unturns from a bird.
All of a sudden, druids seem way less useless.
You might have tried
Yeah,
the bird
but he only
thing.
gets 2 of those.
Wow.
That one he's willing to burn. And yeah, the only one now over is the Bjorg Goblin, which conveniently enough has the rope tied around it.
Reel in that goblin then.
Yep. You just like a fishing pole, just woo, plop.
That was easy. Refreshingly so.
Klaus.
All right. Klaus is going to climb up on the platform, and I'm going to take out my elf porn and place it in front of me, and then put on my ring of invisibility.
Let's consider it.
That'll help me concentrate. It's like,
Well, here's the good news. I'm pretty sure donning the ring is an action. So you guys truly just see Klaus take out porn, set it down, pull out his ring, kind of look you all in the eyes, and then just whoosh. So you definitely know what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
Silas.
So there's no sign of the mechanism that works this?
Not that you can see immediately. You haven't tried to roll a perception specifically for that.
Okay, I will try to search for that, and if it means shoving Klaus off the table, that's okay.
You might get a head full of ass.
You might get a fistful of Silas.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Oh, God.
Hasn't he already had that?
This is the worst shingles yet.
Silas rolls.
I'm going to need to roll a concentration check.
Silas rolls a 13.
Fortunately, you can easily see through Klaus. That's what invisibility means. So you scan around, and you're like, well, I can't see any of the mechanisms up here.
You're gonna make us go diving for it, aren't you?
You guys have magic and items and equipment. You can figure out how you want to do what you want to do.
I have.
Would you like to do anything else, Silas?
I guess I will head over to the gate. This one.
Mm-hmm.
I think I can make it about there. That'll probably do it.
Yep. Brandon Thymester.
Again, Silas seems to be the only person not taking a horrifying course of action at the moment. So, yeah, I'm going to, I guess, make myself available to assist. I want to find out how to get out of here and whether there's a way to do so without getting covered in shit.
I don't need your help, Brandon.
I'm just pretending you're not here. Is there anything to be gained from investigating this platform?
You won't really know until you investigate, will you?
No, I'm just thinking that, while Klaus is on it. Yeah, I mean, that seems like the only kind of useful thing I can do at the minute. I'll investigate the platform, and just because I can't see him, I can just pretend he's not there masturbating.
All right, now let me ask you, do you want to investigate the platform up close or at a distance?
Up close.
Up close, all right. Roll a D100, and also roll an investigation.
Don't like the sound of this D100.
I don't either. I didn't think I needed to spell this out for you guys.
Brandon Find Master rolls a 35 on the D100.
Okay, well, good news. There was a 10% chance you were accidentally going to touch it. But you rolled above a 10, so you're fine.
Oh,
Now you can roll investigation.
I can't tell you how happy that makes me.
Yeah, you did not want to roll a 1 on that one.
You can see the elf board. Just, steer clear of that.
Okay, yeah. Oh, I got a 2 for investigation.
You're being so careful about not accidentally touching Klaus. Every move is real slow to the point where you're not actually doing a very good job of investigating.
Just creeping around this platform, muttering, "Don't touch an invisible dick. Don't touch an invisible dick." Oh God, this is a nightmare scenario for somebody with a vow of celibacy. It could just be an invisible dick anywhere. I wouldn't know about it.
I'm flattered.
I mean, you live in a world with invisibility. There could be invisible dicks there at any time.
Oh God. Oh, that's existentially terrifying. It's like being a woman on Facebook.
Fandango.
Alrighty. So, I guess these guys have relayed to me what they have figured out. I'll try a perception to see if I can see anything about any of the pieces. See if there's any pieces, parts lying around. Or, no, better yet, I'm going to move down to here. I'm going to move 30 feet down, and I'm going to scan the shit river to see if I can see if there's any disturbances in the current where, maybe pieces of the apparatus are.
Okay, so I go ahead and click the screen. Just give me an idea, like kind of the style I am of where you're really hunting at, because that's a pretty precise amount of looking. So I'm gonna need a general area.
Yeah, because my thought is if they broke the wheel up near the platform and just kind of chunked it into the river of shit, the current may have caught it on one of the corners.
Okay, I now know the area you're searching. Give me your perception. Let's see if you can spot it.
Fendingo rolls a 13.
You see no disturbance in that section of the river.
There is no disturbance in the turds.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Okay. Fendingo. Gordon, what's your... Oh, wow, I forgot how fast. I'll go to there. Gordon will just move twice to kind of get centered for next round. And to stay away from the porn. Klaus, you are invisible with elf porn.
So this is not like a pleasure wank. I just want the great power. I mean, it is not an atmosphere conducive to, taking my time and really enjoying it. I just
Right, you're skipping the scented candles and the romance.
a concentration, or is that even a thing in 5th edition?
It is. You use a constitution roll for it. You know what? I'm going to say that we will do that, but first, I am going to need a charisma roll from you. Let's see if you can get yourself in the mood on demand.
All right.
Let's lay down a little charm.
You roll seduction on yourself.
All right, Klaus rolls a 3.
That's perfect.
You start off going a little too aggressive. Come on, you little dick piece of shit. And you're like, wait, no, I'm not in the mood for that. That's the abusive stuff. That's like later. So you kind of
Hey, what?
You go too hot out of the gate, and you got to reel it back.
That was a really in-depth play-by-play.
Yeah.
That's the kind of fantasy role-playing people tune in for.
Brandon, stop watching me.
I got to make a show out of whatever y'all do. So if it's jerking off, then by God, them's the rolls.
Even though he's not here tonight, I feel like in his honor. God damn it! That one's for you, Joe.
The Bjork Goblin hangs its head in shame for you, Klaus. All right, Silas Kane.
I'm not asking anybody to, listen and pay attention here. Put the ring on for a reason.
All right.
Got a fucking goblin and a monk just snooping around the table, breaking my concentration.
Drew's already been through this. We can hear you muttering to yourself.
So fuck off and let me finish.
Since diving in shit is sounding better than listening to Klaus scream at his dick, let me ask: if I were to take both a potion of water breathing and a potion of dark vision, could I essentially make myself a shit diver?
You know what? That is a pretty good combo idea. Yeah. I don't see any issue with it. You will still be taking damage. That part is not related to the lack of oxygen.
All right. Well, then, I guess Silas will start off drinking the potion of... I assume I can't drink both in one round.
That is correct. Drinking a potion constitutes an action.
All right, then I will drink my last potion of water breathing for now.
Okay.
And aside from that, I will move over to here, so I'm in a more central location.
Perfectly reasonable. Brandon Thighmaster. Do you want to try and mime your way around a ghost stick again?
No. I've heard enough to know that's not a good idea. I'm going to follow Klaus's advice. I'm going to fuck off and leave him to it. It's the only sensible...
This is clearly happening.
Come on, Bjork Goblin. This is no place for you or I. And I will, I guess I'll move over and see what Silas is up to. He looks like he's about to do something stupid. Let's see how this pans out. What I will do is untie my rope and keep it available.
All right. You use your action, and you have plenty of moves, so that's good. Fendingo.
How many hit points does Bjork Goblin have?
The goblin creatures are basically, don't worry about it.
Awesome. I want to tie Brandon's rope around the Bjork Goblin and throw him in and have him look for the parts.
All right. You can use your action to tie a knot around the Bjork Goblin. Go ahead and roll me a survival.
That's going to be a 19 survival.
Okay, you have tied a knot. You can do the goblin tossing on your next round. Do you want to move or anything, or you're...
Yeah, we'll go ahead and move up to the... We'll go ahead and move up to the edge here and bring the Bjork Goblin along with me.
Alright, it is Gordon's turn, so... I go keep being useful in a way that doesn't involve him having to get in the river.
Sensible.
Silas, you gain another 10 hit points.
Oh, good.
Because you're gonna need them, buddy.
And that is all he cares to do. Actually, he'll literally step away from the edge. Really doesn't want to be near that in any capacity.
Want to step away from the splash zone?
Yeah.
Fendingo gives no fucks.
All right, Klaus. Give me another charisma check.
All right. Natural 1. What? No, not just a fucking natural 1. Double natural 1.
Go ahead and roll me a d20.
I was even going to suggest that since everybody left and he's got porn, you should give him advantage on that roll. But
3 natural ones in a row, and you just die of your dick falling off.
Oh, my dick.
You wank yourself to death. It's the way you were always going to go out, let's be fair.
Is that D20?
Yeah, just a d20.
All right. I rolled an 8.
All right. Okay,
Go on, Drew.
I gotta find just the right one for this one.
this is when we need sound effects.
What page of the Dungeon Master's Guide covers this?
Oh no, this is definitely in Xanathar's Guide to Everything, bro.
Oh no. Okay. So, Klaus, you're like, okay, all right, it's fine. It doesn't matter that happened. It's all right. Just come on. You can do this. It's not like everyone saw and they're gonna know. It's not like you're on a sacred stone and like the gods themselves are watching you not get hard. So get hard. So get hard. So get the fuck hard. Why won't you fucking do this? You're kind of screaming at it by the end, and Klaus, you are momentarily stunned at your own dick's inability to obey you.
This has never happened to me before.
The complete inverse of middle school when it never obeyed you, but it was always getting hard when you didn't want it to.
Yeah. You guys definitely can hear Klaus slowly losing his mind at his penis.
It's like a bunch of kids standing around listening to their parents argue in the other room.
It's like you're at a friend's house and their parents get in a fight and you're truly just like, I don't even know where to look.
Can anybody speak Weasel? Because I'm sure Ron Weasley, Jeremy's there. It's okay. This happens to everyone.
God bless you, Klaus. You are potentially the highlight of this one. With just natural ones. Oh, Silence Cane.
I will drink that other potion and dive right in because it is better than listening to this shit.
What was the second potion you did?
Dark Vision.
Dark Vision, okay. So that's a 60-foot range for most Dark Vision spells. Okay. So, dive on in. And, sploosh. I don't think we did falling damage for this portion. Honestly, you're landing in deep enough water that's not really an issue. But you do take 2 damage.
Come on in, the shit's fine.
It's really not.
And we'll say it took you, I don't know, 10 feet of movement to do the jump, so you've still got however much left over if you'd like to start moving.
All right, well, then I'll just move here so I'm kind of central and take a look around.
You can do that on your next turn. Brandon Thighmaster.
Well, I was reserving the rope to sort of haul Silas back in, but now Fandingo has tied it to Bjork Goblin. I don't know, I guess they can be a dual function. We can use the Goblin to trawl the riverbed and give a means to getting back out of the river to Silas. So I will just make myself ready. I'm going to back up Fandingo's plan. I'll take hold of the rope, ready for him to shot put Goblin Bjorg into the ship.
Well, I might have just let the monk do the throwing, but Fandingo, Bard, let's see what you got.
Oh, this is Fandingo's idea. You know, I don't want to steal the glory.
It's not rocket science. I'm just going to help the goblin climb up onto the edge and push his ass off.
Oh no, you've got to throw him out. Have you never been
Really?
fishing before?
All right, fine. I'll throw the goblin into the middle of the shit river. What do you want? Strength?
I want, strength. Yeah, just strength. You don't get proficiency for this. There's no way you're proficient with this.
7.
All right, you go. And you do get it over the concrete barrier. But you just see boom, and then the Bjorg Goblin begins to slowly sink.
All right,
pathetic.
when you get down to the bottom, start feeling around and find the parts of the crank. Not the crank Klaus is yanking on, a different, like one that's actually stiff.
One that actually works.
Gordon heard all that penis screaming, so he's going to move farther away from the platform and also take the dodge action.
Penis screaming. Oh, that's sensible.
Speaking of penis screaming, Klaus.
Am I already up again? Well, figuratively speaking. All right. Charisma?
Come on, let's see if you can shame your own dick.
All right. Come on. We've been through a lot together, buddy. I'm sorry for the things I said. Let's just get this done, okay? 11.
All right. You manage to plead with it enough that blood finally starts flowing toward it again. But I'm sorry, man. You got to dig yourself out of that double natural one.
Yeah.
So that just gets you back to 0.
All right, that's fine. I'm getting my rhythm on.
Yeah. You're coaxing it back
Yeah,
out.
the turtle popped its head out of the shell.
Yeah.
Your dick is no longer an innie.
Oh, God help us all. All right, Silas Kane, give me a perception check if that is what you're wanting to do, like look around.
A 9.
With a 9, you've got dark vision, so you can see Bjork slowly drifting down. It waves at you.
Nice. I'm gonna... How do I move down here? Am I walking along the bottom, or...?
You are swimming, because, like, out here is... so it's about 20 feet deep in all of this lower section.
All right, then I'll start swimming in this direction.
That's part of what would make dealing with the portcullises especially difficult, is that they're very, very long, because they do go all the way from the ceiling to the floor, all 20 feet of it, and of course you'd have trouble, getting a grip and lifting. Not impossible, but difficult. So with swim, I think... What was swim? Was it just athletics? Climbing, swimming, and crawling. Each costs 1 extra foot. Oh, so it's just half speed.
Okay.
Yeah, there's nothing about this aside from it just being nasty. Oh, that reminds me. You take 3 damage. But otherwise, you can move at half
All
speed.
right, I'll move over to here.
Alrighty. Brandon Thighmaster.
It sort of occurred to me while Fandingo was given that long list of instructions to the Bjorg Goblin that really these goblins have done nothing to suggest they actually understand what we're talking about or care.
Not even the slightest bit.
No, yeah. So, I don't know. I've got increasingly less faith in this plan. But I'll just, we're committed now. And the alternative is listening to Klaus negotiate with his penis. So, I will, I'll feed out some slack on the rope. Maybe give it a kind of, a yeah motion. Like,
Yeah, the turd trawling plan got a lot more appealing once Klaus presented an alternative.
I play my part.
Oh, alright, Fandango. You are watching a goblin slowly sink.
Now, how fucking long is it going to take him to sink? And is he?
It's about 20 feet down, and he's fairly buoyant little thing like that.
Well, I'm guessing I can't see very far into the shit.
Yeah,
river.
I mean, you can see the rope going down, though.
All right. Pull on the rope if you find anything that I want you to bring back up.
Yeah, that'll work.
So Fandango is now just shouting at water.
I'm also going to try a perception check to see if I see, I don't know, ripples or whatever the fuck. We're going to look over here.
Okay. Give me a perception.
15.
You do not see any disturbances or anything sticking out to you in that area.
All right. Well, I have given the goblin instructions.
All right. Gordon continues his translation efforts. Klaus.
All right. Here we go.
There you go.
Shit. Klaus rolls a 7. Come on,
You can get half mast. I mean, you could force this if you had to. You might want to. Okay, so basically, where you are right now, it's going to be a harder Constitution check to do whatever you want to do with it. But you've got something to work with. Whereas you can try next round to push it with charisma and get yourself to full mast, and then the Constitution checks will be lower.
Okay.
So think it over. You've got a round to the side. That's where you are in this somehow deeply elaborate jerk-off procedure that we've ended up on.
Tickle the sack.
All right, so we'll see what gambler's move you make on the next one. All right, Silas, you take 5 damage.
Nevertheless, I never thought I would be so happy to be 20 feet below shit.
All right, give me a perception check if you are still hunting.
A 3.
Yeah, not shockingly, you do not see. You don't even see Bjork this time. You are. Let's just say that something. Part of that 5 damage was something getting in your eyes. We're not going to go deeply into what. We're just going to say that Silas uses a little divine magic to scrub his eyes, preventing pink eye.
Well, I'm curious though. The water breathing potion. That I mean, what are the mechanics of that? You still take the water into your lungs, right? You're just able to get the oxygen from it.
It's oxygenated shit, okay? It's all good.
All right.
Yep. Yeah.
All right, that's good. That gets me hard.
All right, I'll move 15 feet further away, just so instinctively moving further away from where Klaus is doing his stuff.
That's a solid instinct. I don't think anyone begrudges you that instinct. Brandon, you are also watching a rope sink deeper into water.
Yeah, I mean, this is quite a peaceful distraction from the horror. I'll take this opportunity to do a perception check for any kind of disturbances in the water that might indicate something sunken.
Okay.
You know, Brandon, if you ever tried this, you might not be such a prick.
If he had the level of success you're having, he might be even worse.
You're not selling it to me, mate.
The screaming breakdown didn't quite make the case you might be hoping.
If anything's going to make me suddenly reconsider my vow of celibacy, it's not this incident.
As a matter of fact, it's making Fandango consider a vow of celibacy.
Brandon, click on the area you would like to be percepting.
Look upriver a bit, up towards the bridge.
Are you clicked on the cursor? Because that will not do it sometimes. All right, so right there.
Yes.
All right, roll me perception.
-1. It's really hard to concentrate on anything else.
Oh man, you see something under there.
Uh-oh.
You're not sure what, but you definitely see something.
It's very distracting where somebody's over there screaming, "Come on, Mr. Pickles, you can do it."
Well, I'll keep an eye on that area then. I'll notify Fandango that I have a strong intuition there's something up towards the bridge.
Well, you have the goblin tow it up towards you.
Oh, I guess, yeah. I could wrangle this goblin. Possibly.
Reel it in.
Yeah, sure.
Well, you used your action for the Perceptic, so if you want to start reeling in Bjorg, we'll do that one on the next one. Although Fandango, he's tied to you, so if you want to move, he can drift automatically. Speaking of, Fandango, it is your turn.
Yeah, that's right. He's tied to me. So I'll take my I have to go all the way to where Brandon is and then go north. Because otherwise, I'll bash the poor goblin alongside the shit
Now is the
riverbanks.
time to consider the goblin's feelings.
Yeah.
We should break right now so that, like, next week Bjorg just wakes up tied to a rope, being beaten against the wall.
Just Bjorg bursts out of the river, sword in hand. Looks at Fandango and the rope that connects them.
Saving you, buddy. So yeah, Fandango's gonna go all the way to Brandon and then go north and end up here, towing the goblin along. Pay attention, little shit swimmer.
All right, the submerged rope goes with you. So Gordon will continue working on his translation duties away from the poop and the jerk-off stone. Speaking of Klaus, all right, what's it going to be? Are you going to go charisma or are you going to go constitution?
Gonna go charisma. I'm gonna think of my old flame carrying brandy wine. And here we go. 19.
Oh, wow. All right, now this is now you're getting into it. Like you go to your old flame, you dig deep, you sing the song that always gets you rock hard. Fandango, you faintly hear what sounds like the theme song to Denver the Last Dinosaur, being whispered gently, sensually even. And of course, the rock and roll dino never fails to do its job.
It's my friend and a whole lot more.
Klaus, you have a rager.
All right.
I'm so glad he's invisible.
Yes, you are. Next turn, you can get to business.
All right.
God help us all. Silas Kane, the guy who's searching the river of turds. Oh, and is the more sanitary one right now. Perception
Still
check.
happy to be submerged in shit. A 2.
You did not learn when to shut your eyes from that last incident. All right, thank God I got that turd out of my eye. Turn. Oh God, this one has corn. Before I forget, you take 5 damage.
Yeah, it's every so often, like, an air bubble breaks the surface. It's like, thank you, Troll.
Yeah, given the whole love of suffering thing, you are. Well, let me put it this way: if suffering is your jam, then you're as happy as a pig in shit.
Well, then I will keep waiting closer to actually go diagonal this one.
Alrighty, Brandon Master.
Doesn't seem to be a lot I can do.
I mean, you had success last round looking around. You could try that again.
Oh, yeah, it's good. But yeah, I do have a mission, don't I?
You think you had success. You think
Yeah.
you're on a roll.
Excellent. All right, well, I'm going to follow Fandango then. I'm really enthusiastic about it. I've got a good feeling about this Fandango. There's definitely something under that bridge. Let's wrangle this goblin.
Okay. So you're just going to come up and emotionally support Fandango.
Yes. pretty
Fandango.
much.
First, Fandango's going to try a perception check on whatever Brandon thinks he saw.
Okay, roll me a perception.
11.
You're not really sure what he sees, but you can't really see anything there. Like you're not getting. It looks just like the same as the rest of the other water. You're not picking up anything.
All right, well, I trust Brandon. Because, I mean, he's my boy. So I'm going to walk a little further to thus drag Goblin Bjorg under the bridge, and we'll start, walking back and forth, dragging the bottom.
Okay. You can just use a dash action to double your movement and go back and forth.
All right, then I'll make one run up and one run back.
Okay. You do a dredge of the bottom.
Yeah. Next turn, I should probably bring Goblin Bjorg up for air.
All right, Klaus. It's Constitution time if you're going for it.
I'm going for
And
it.
2 of your party mates are in the splash zone.
And to be clear, like you are, you're aiming for speed. You're just trying to get it done.
Yeah, I am.
Yep.
I mean, now that I'm kind of in the mood, I wouldn't mind going for another charisma, but I got responsibilities.
You're about as charisma'd out as you're gonna get.
All right.
You can only get so turgid.
Just want to say that this is the most tactics you've put into anything since we started this game. Just want to point that out.
Constitution coming up.
Okay.
Klaus rolls a 12.
Okay, you're making pretty good progress, but you're going dry. So there's a little bit of work. You're definitely making progress though. Given the readiness you were at, you feel you've moved toward the goal.
Can I spit on my palm as a free action?
You know what? What the hell? I'll give it to you for movement.
Okay.
Silas Kane.
Son of a fuck. A 1 perception.
Not natural though, which is more impressive. I'd like to point out that your last rolls sequentially have been 3, 2,
I'm
1.
well aware.
Let's go. You're gonna take 4 damage as yet more. Like you're like, are they ganging up? Are they aiming for my eyes? It's starting to feel malicious.
This guy had Doritos and salsa.
Move 10 squares this way.
Brandon Thighmaster.
I'm still convinced there's something under that bridge, so I'm going to speed things up a bit, see if I can't clear the water. I'm going to take my wind stick out and use Gust of Wind. I'm going to point
Now, very important question here, Brandon. In which direction are you gusting?
pointing away from face.
So you will be gusting in this direction.
Yes.
Okay.
I swear, if I get hit with a shit tsunami.
You're literally swimming in shit.
Brandon and Fandingo, you can both give me perception checks.
How much shit can we pump into Silas's lungs?
Fendingo rolls a 10.
Brandon Firemaster rolls a natural 20.
Oh, okay. Brandon does the gust of wind, which blasts away a big chunk of water for a brief moment, shattering the bridge, FYI. It is fucking destroyed.
Bridge is in the past.
That's how I handle my relationships too, Brandon.
That's why you're shouting at your dick on a wank platform.
Yep. So that thing is fucking toast. But so with a 10, Vendingo, you were like, oh, there's like a little bump in the texture, like lower there. I guess maybe that's what he saw. With a natural 20, Brandon, you can see perfectly what it was. There is a big old rock of some kind of turd, like something old and something pretty big laid this thing. It's probably about as long as your shoulder to fingertips, and kind of football shaped, and just jammed in there, wedged on the bottom, along with a few other caked on areas. So you did see something. You saw a
Certainly did.
Jumbo turd.
I put a lot of effort into seeing something I really didn't want to see there.
Inhale it.
And with a natural 20, you get every detail.
Every
This turd's
crater
gonna
in its
haunt your
surface.
dreams.
Oh dear. All right, Fandingo, I may have made a mistake. I did see something. Not anything that's going to help us.
I'm literally dripping shit water on your feet. I don't think I have room to talk, but
Okay.
Wendigo, it is your turn.
I'm gonna reel in the shit goblin.
All right, the little goblinoid Bjorg pops out.
I'm not gonna pull him out of the river.
Oh.
I'm just gonna pull him up to the surface and. Okay, buddy, you all right?
It pops out and is just kind of laying on its back.
You okay down there?
It's just squirting. It's just like spitting the water out.
Are you? Did you see anything? Do you even speak common?
None of these things can speak. No.
Do you understand anything I'm saying? Now I'll pull the shit goblin out because obviously this was not a great idea.
You set him down, shakes off like a dog.
Look, we've got 3 ideas playing out here, man, and this is the best one.
I mean, until now, this idea did not have anyone covered or more covered in shit water.
Right, Klaus. We're back to you.
All right. We're still going for Constitution. There's no way I can try like technique with dexterity.
If you're going for just speed, I'm assuming you're just mind focused on getting the job.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You're not trying to be fancy. You're just trying to get it out.
All right, carrying brandy wine, bring it home. Klaus rolls a 9.
Oh, you're so close, but you don't. You can't. You're keeping pace.
It's better than the 7 before. I think I'm enjoying the brandy wine fantasy.
Because you got to such a rage point. Beating 5 lets you just stay where you are.
All right.
So it's that was the risk reward. Like the lower you were, like the easier it would have been to lose your place. But you got maxed out on that end. So the rolls are makeable. You just got to hit them.
Yeah.
Silas, let's see if you natural 1 and 0 this out. Keep the trend going.
Back to a 3.
God.
It's a step in the right direction, I guess.
They are organizing. The turrets are organizing. You take 1 damage. You guys see Silas splashing around screaming about a conspiracy of turds.
They travel in herds.
It's herds of turds.
Clever girl.
Oh,
Nice. Clever turds.
Brendan Thigh Master.
Maybe you should put your stick in and blow the other way.
Yeah, it didn't do much, but except for destroy that bridge, obviously. But it did something. Yeah, I'm going to see if I can stir the pot, so to speak, down towards the portcullis. So I'm going to aim my gust of wind this time in a 4 o'clock direction.
Okay, so you're going to be aiming this way.
Yes.
Okay, 4 o'clock. Got it.
And I will warn Fandango I'm going to do this and ask him to sort of keep an eye out.
We'll let y'all move in conjunction. That's fine. You guys are kind of working together. So both of you give me perceptions as Brandon does his gust of wind.
5.
14.
Neither of you notice anything.
They kept us busy for a round, I guess.
It's not a bad idea. You are getting very good, cleared out looks at sections. It's just,
There's
bit by bit.
not a goddamn thing in them.
Fandango.
I'm all out of ideas. I mean, no. I have an idea. It's similar to Brandon's idea, but slightly different. And louder. All right.
Are you going to do some sort of magical fart in the middle of this turd
Are
river.
you gonna drop dynamite in it and see if I float to the surface or something?
Kinda yes to both.
He just floats to the surface, surrounded by a shoal of turds.
Uh-oh, someone's going Mississippi fishing. Get the dynamite.
I'm gonna look at Goblin Bjorg and say, don't follow me. And I'm gonna move 20 feet away from Brandon. And
Consider
then
it.
lean over the edge, put my hand right above the surface. Well, fuck it, I'll put my hand in the shit water. What do I care? I'm covered in it already. And cast Thunder Wave.
Okay. So these are kind of elevated, so you're going to have to really lean down. I'm going to need an acrobatics check to hold that position, because that's not an easy one.
That's fair. It's also fairly stupid, so... Acrobatics?
Yep.
15.
Oh, yeah, you can manage that. That's pretty good. So you'll cast Thunder Wave. Thunder Wave is what? Flows 360 degrees, right?
Yup.
Okay, so you'll just do a little pocket burst right here. Brandon, roll me Perception. Fendingo, roll me Perception with disadvantage.
Brandon rolls an 8.
Fendingo rolls a 7.
So, Brandon, you see Fendingo lean over, put his hand into the water, and then cast something, and then you see an explosion of turd water burst outward in every direction, including up, which splashes all over Fendingo once more. Not quite submerging him, but definitely getting in his face and making it very difficult for him to see the thing.
You know, now that I think about it, probably should have seen that coming.
Yeah, you know.
You find anything, buddy?
Something got in my eye.
Join the club.
I think it was a peanut.
That is one big pile of shit.
Away. Gordon's good double move.
Gordon just running the fuck away. That's crazy. I mean, that's sensible. That's, yeah.
All right, Klaus.
All right. Bringing it home, baby.
Bring it home.
Constitution. God damn it. Klaus rolls an 8.
You're holding the line, but you're not advancing, you're not retreating. You're really starting to make a meal of this.
Carrying Brandywine and I didn't part ways very amicably. I'm holding on to this for a little while.
Not to mention it's raining shit around you.
You're just kind of in the zone. You've forgotten why you started.
I've forgotten what I started fighting for.
He forgot why he started this, as if he had a good reason in the first place.
I had a great reason. I'm going to have powers that are going to save us all.
Silas K.
A 13.
Oh my god. So you have been literally swimming around this for so long. You finally look down and see, like, on the bottom, coated in general turdery, but you make out with your, being underwater and having the dark vision and all that jazz. You spot a piece of the turnstile mechanism broken off and tossed
Fuck,
in.
I make my way over there.
All right, and that will be your round.
Damage.
Brandon Thighmaster.
Damage it up.
Does he give any indication that he's found something?
No, he is underwater,
Oh, okay.
so he did not surface first.
Not a great deal I can do then. I'm abandoning the explode the shit river approach to this after seeing Fendingo get a face full of peanut.
Your scientists were so preoccupied with whether they could, they didn't stop to think about whether they should.
I mean, that is an excellent point. We really didn't stop and think about anything.
Yeah, that's on brand.
Now that we've disturbed the water, I'm just going to keep an eye on it. And again, this helps me concentrate on not Klaus. So
Oh, Silas, I almost forgot. You take 4 damage.
So Brandon Firemaster rolls a 14 perception.
Okay. Nothing to see at this point.
Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, you see Silas swimming around. Like, you still see the ripples of Silas swimming around, but it's no different than what you've been seeing in that regard. All right, Fendingo, you can wipe your face free.
Yeah, I figured that was probably a reaction. But I'm not sure what the hell I'm wiping my face with.
Don't ask questions you don't want the answers to.
Good point. Good point. All right. I guess I still have part of the rope, don't I?
You still have a rope tied to you and to Bjorg Goblin. You've still not untied that.
Brandon, hang on to the rope.
Okay. What? From the goblin end?
Yeah, not from the me end, because I'm about to climb over the edge and float in the shit water and cast Thunderwave again. So watch really closely.
Okay.
Because I'm closing my fucking eyes.
From a distance. So yeah, I will step back 5 feet. Keep and hold on to the rope. Got on the goblin end.
Yeah.
On the dry end.
So I'm gonna... There is no dry end of this rope.
Yeah, after that last rainstorm, dry is a very relative term.
So yeah, I'm gonna hop over and, no, I gotta stay close to here so that I can keep the rope kind of tight. But this should give me enough length of rope to cast further down.
Okay, you take 4 damage.
Yep.
And go ahead and... Well, you don't have to really roll anything for that. So, Brandon, give me a perception.
Perception. Brandon Firemaster rolls an 18.
You see a big explosion of water and a bunch of things on the floor and walls you really would rather not have seen, but nothing useful.
So about the same as the last time we made a third explosion.
Pretty
Except
much.
I just see more of it this time.
Yeah, you get a better view.
Now that I know what to expect.
Hold on to your butts.
All right, Klaus.
All right. All right. Yeah, I'm in the zone. If it happens, it happens. I'm just enjoying it now. All right, Klaus. Klaus gets a 20.
Just needed to relax, man.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh.
you guys all... you don't even have to roll perception. Even Silas gets this one underwater, even though you'd rather not. You just hear, Klaus Richter!
Oh, wow. He screams his own name. Great.
Boy, I feel like that's where we're going to end the game this week. We were all waiting to just see Klaus finish. But don't worry, listeners, we are not ending the episode on that, God knows. We also take your questions during the game at facebook.com/authorsanddragons, and we have the folks that cut the line over at the Patreon at patreon.com/authorsanddragons, who join our Discord and leave questions and feedback and all sorts of wonderful things. So, while you mentally scrub that Klaus image from your brain, Rick, why don't you take us into some Discord questions?
All right. Well,
sorry, Bevan, I did hear you say
No,
something.
I was just
trying
going
to
to
get
say,
it
it
all
should
out.
also be pointed out that, you're not going to see anything anyway. If you choose to watch us on YouTube, we don't have that kind of budget, and I'm invisible.
If we did have the budget.
So just imagine listening to someone screaming about Klaus Richter jizzing and not seeing anything. You know, like it's a fucking podcast.
yeah, it's like if you need a visual, go to Pornhub, pick any video, and just scroll to the very end. and imagine somebody screaming Klaus Richter.
Oh, like they're not already.
All right. Well,
Sorry, Rick, go ahead.
moving to Discord, we kind of have a two-parter here from our friends Aaron and Alec Wallace, and they're about. Oh, what a surprise! They're about Authors and Dragons Con.
Ooh.
So the first part of the question, Aaron asks, is there a limit on how many items we can have you guys sign? For example, I have a pencil case, to get autographs on, but I'd also like my con shirt to get signed. And also, are you taking pre-orders for anyone who wants to buy a book at A&D Con?
I would say, I think we're probably all agreed there is absolutely no limit to the number of items you can sign.
Yeah.
My answer to that is always within reason and respect to people who are waiting.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you're at the back of the queue, if you've bought like a U-Haul filled with random household items.
Can you sign every tooth of my zipper? No.
But I think it's safe to
if you've got like 20 things, we may sign 5 and then ask you to move to the back of the line and cycle through a couple of times. Yeah. But we're there for 2 days. There's plenty of time.
Yeah. Also, I was kind of making the assumption that you're not insane as well. So.
It's always good to clarify.
But let's also face facts. If we got a line and they're just saying we need more of your shit signed, we're probably happy campers, So.
Yeah. It's not a frequent problem, and it's a good one to have.
Yeah.
But it's the general golden rule: be courteous of those who are also with you in it.
Oh, the golden rule isn't you pay more to get peed on?
Not the golden shower rule. We're not doing the Klaus one. So the pre-order thing I think is a little more specific. Like I have to say, I can't sustain that sort of thing at a con because I'm going to be doing panels and running around, and there's going to be people who run our booths. And for me, for the amount of like stock and everything I'll have, there's just no feasible way to run a functioning pre-order system.
I've never been to Vegas before, but what if you only want to get peed on?
I mean, pretty sure you can pay for that.
Yeah, I'm saying,
there's always homeless dudes.
All right, good.
If you fall asleep in the wrong part of Vegas, somebody will pee on you.
Oh man,
I mean,
that's like cheating the system.
I'll pee on you.
Get it for free.
That's a good friend right there.
Yeah, I got your back, bro. You got to buy all the liquor, but
I don't want it on my back.
Oh God.
We're obviously going to have some.
We'll swing back to the pre-order one hurting us along.
Well,
so anyone else going to try and bite that off, or?
Yeah, actually, I am. I'm going to put. I'm going to put up a pre-order form, in my Facebook group, which is whatever the fucking URL for Facebook groups is /John Hartness. Because I have 22 titles, so. I don't know what I should bring extra of, so if someone wants to order ahead and tell me what to bring, I'll just have it packaged up in a bag, and that'll be in addition to what I'm bringing for normal stock.
See, this is why John's the king of cons, man. He's got his shit together more than any of us.
Yeah, I'm bringing what I'm bringing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm bringing what I can fit.
I have 3 bookcases full of inventory sitting behind me, so... I'm pretty sure none of the rest of you guys get 200 paperbacks a month coming in.
Yeah. I mean, I've done like pre-orders in the past, like usually like one person is just like, hey, I want the whole series or so, and that was usually cons where like my brain was not spinning, and my brain is spinning way too much for that right now.
Yeah, Rick and I are getting ready for Dragon Con, which is in 7 days, so our brains are completely not functional. Like more so than normal, but because I'm prepping for Authors and Dragons Con behind it is actually just doing the same work twice, so it's easy enough.
Oh, while we're plugging upcoming cons, I should mention I'm going to be at Rose City Comic Con 2019 up in Portland the weekend before Authors and Dragons Con, and yes, that is going to be an exhausting back-to-back weekend, and also yes, I'm going to have a shitload of fun.
I'll barely be recovered from Dragon Con by the time A&D Con comes along.
Well, the second part of the question is kind of related, and I'm going to actually tie in a third part of the question from Zadie's Angel, just so we get this all out of the way. They want to know if we want a book signed that we do not currently own. Would you guys prefer us to order it through Amazon or wait and buy it from you at the con? And then in addition, are you going to have T-shirts on hand to sell?
So we'll get to the second part first, and that's going to be a hard pass. If you want Authors and Dragons t-shirts, order them ahead of time at our Authors and Dragons store, which is tpublic.com/authors and dragons 1.
Yeah, I don't think any of us carry t-shirt inventory because it's so specific. Because you're not carrying one product like with a book. You're carrying 5 to 6, depending on what your size range is.
and
Size and color.
yeah.
And color, yeah.
Yeah, with TeePublic you can customize it, long sleeve, short sleeve, sizes, colors, make it look exactly how you want it. That's 100% the way to go, and they're always running sales. So by the time you listen to this, it might be on sale again.
I think for the first one, if there's a specific book you want signed, the safest way is probably to get it beforehand and bring it with you. Because I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I've got a limited suitcase allowance, so I'll be kind of not sure what books I can bring and in what quantity. So the safest way, I think, if you definitely want a specific book signed, get that shit ordered beforehand.
I am 100% with you, Steve. Like I'm there's no way I can bring everything I have or even in the quantities, because whenever I try to guess the quantities, I always get it 100% wrong. So I'll probably have like I'll probably have Build the Vampires on me. I'll have like, Shingles and maybe a smattering of other stuff, but if it's anything other than that, yeah, I would say, bring it to the con, or and I'll be happy to sign whatever the hell you got.
I'll super echo that one. I have so much issue with specific availability because I have a bunch of series and each one is so big, and like if I can bring 2 to 3 copies of most of my major series books, I consider that a really successful con packing job, and a good inventory to have. So yeah, if you want something specific from me and you don't plan on being one of the first people in the door, like just out of hand, then I would 100% recommend bringing it with you.
And as always, I'll be different and say that my pre-order form will be up, and I'll also put the volumes of Steve's Doomsayer Journeys that are published through Falstaff on that pre-order, because I have some in inventory, so I can bring those across, and Steve doesn't have to use up his very limited international luggage allowance for it.
I was going to say, coming next year to Authors and Dragons Con, we all publish our books through John, so it's all his problem.
Yeah.
Done.
Do we have any non-Authors and Dragons Con questions, Rick?
Well, actually, yes, I believe we do. All right. Our friend Lost Leffel says, "You've just lost all ideas for writing and have no hope of ever getting them back. What would you do now?"
I would finally respond to all those goddamn emails I get saying, "I have a great idea for a book. You write it, we'll split the money."
I mean, I'd love to say I'd go back to my old career, but at this point I've been out of it for like a couple of years, and corporate America is a real pain in the ass, because it's one of those. I've discovered that everybody says they want a self-starter, but the second you say, "Oh, by the way, I did my own thing and I ran my own company," they look at you and they're like, "Fuck off."
Yeah, because you'll self-start out the door, and they know it.
Yeah. And for me, the tech has moved on a lot in the 5 years that I've been out of the entertainment lighting world, so I don't even know. Construction laws change. My learning curve would be really steep to get back into it.
So I'm going to take a big swing here. So tomorrow I lose all ideas. Well, I've still got one locked in the chamber for release in fall, and that's Underqualified Advice and Other Amusing Diversions. So if that's going to be my last book, fuck it. I'm going to lean in. I'll go self-help speaker / consultant. I'm pretty good at slinging bullshit. I feel like I can make enough. I've got enough of a career built up, and then, have one advice book with hopefully good stuff in it, and just ride that fucking pony until I find my next weird job that I magically fit into.
We'll see Drew at 4 a.m. on doing infomercials on like Travel Channel. It's
there.
the Drew Hayes diet.
Have you ever tried double cocaine?
I guess I don't know. I'd just CGI dinosaurs into all my existing books.
Like it's magic.
That's not how CGI works. But I do like where you're going with that.
Good God, that made me cough laugh.
Yeah, I think I'd probably just double down on being an internet prick. Maybe just, release more.
Is it humanly possible for you to be more of an internet prick?
Well, if I had the time, John. I mean,
You know what you could do? You could be like, an internet, like, you could review books on like YouTube and always start off with, well, these are not as good as what I used to write, but I guess we'll talk about it anyway.
Oh my God, that would be hilarious. This book sucks way more than my latest release, but I'll talk about this piece of shit anyway. And you start with, like, Hamlet.
Like, I have no ability to write anymore, but hey, neither did fucking Shakespeare.
yeah. Just spend all my time ragging on dead writers.
Yeah, I thought Hamlet was okay, but it really seemed like it was a big ripoff of the Lion King's plot.
The thing is, none of these people are alive to defend themselves. I'll make some wide and baseless accusations. Yeah, internet prick.
Oh, since Joe's not here, who wants to take Facebook questions?
I mean, I got it up if you want, but or if somebody else wants to take it, though, feel free.
You've got it up. I'll just
Hey,
throw it to you.
You're doing better than Klaus was for most of the episode.
Hey, I got it up eventually.
I feel like that I loved that B story. That was a perfect.
That wasn't the B
compliment
story.
to
B story,
find
that
stuff.
was the A story.
I'm not gonna lie. The listeners might agree with you.
I think the title of that episode has to be "It Happens to Every Man at Some Point."
All right, Rick. So that is our Discord. Why don't we take a few of the Facebook questions, though, for the folks that didn't cut the line, but we still love anyway.
All right. Well, our friend, I think Shlomi, apologize if I'm saying it wrong, asks, "Have you ever broken a limb, and if so, how?"
Surprisingly enough, I haven't. Of all the people here that should have broken limbs, no, I've never broken a limb.
I also might technically be unbreakable.
I mean, you don't know for sure, do you? Until
Yep.
I have never officially broken a limb, but if we take a step back and assume, well, maybe a little bit of a neglect here. Back when I was a kid, I got tripped during soccer, and I landed hard on my arm. And Mom decided not to take me to the doctor, but I couldn't really move that arm for several weeks.
I've never officially broken a limb, but yeah, little Johnny's not fucking with me anymore, is he?
Oh, my limb! Oh!
Yeah, I mean, I've dislocated a few shoulders, but I've never... But those guys owed me money. No, I've never... I'm pretty fucking sedentary and have been this level of lazy for a long time. So no.
the universe doesn't seem to be interested in destroying any of my kind of extremities. It always goes for the head. I've fractured my skull a couple of times, but no, never like broken an arm or anything.
None of us. Wow.
Yeah. Well, it probably helps that I'm guessing most of us didn't do sports. Not a lot of bone-breaking opportunities in one-act play competitive theater.
Yeah.
Depends how competitive.
The math team did not lend itself to a whole lot of, impact.
Actually,
I did piss people off at academic decathlon when me and my friend were walking through the study hall singing musicals, but what the fuck were they going to do? They're nerds.
You're walking down the hall singing musicals, calling other people nerds.
That's right. That's how nerdy academic decathlon is.
walking down when you're in chat. Fuck you, math nerd.
Yeah.
All right. Our friend Tony asks, how do you keep track of all the different characters you come up with? I'm assuming book characters. Do you keep a separate source sheet, reference back to earlier chapters, books, or some other technique?
I should really do more of that.
Yeah, I think in my case, my series aren't kind of really long enough that it's a big problem for me. So I'm just I can refamiliarize myself by going through the books before I start anything new. But I can imagine for you guys, some of you guys are running quite long into the series. You must, have you ever just like completely forgotten about a character?
I have several times.
Yeah, I had a character meet another character in one book. Fortunately, it didn't make it out of editing, and then I realized like 5 books earlier they had gone on a date.
Oh, God.
I'm pretty sure that happens in real life, though.
I was pretty embarrassed. I went to the first time I went to see my audio guys in the studio, like while they're doing their audio shit, recording the books, and like they had files just so they could keep track of like, all right, this character showed up. I'm gonna save a clip of his voice so I can remember what he sounded like. And man, they're more organized than I am. I really gotta get on this shit.
Yeah, it is wild that like some people need like notes and outlines. They don't just put their hands to the keyboard and it comes naturally. So I'm fucking around, everybody who's listening. Don't worry.
Well,
that was a joke.
Well, yeah, it's partially a joke. I mean, when we did the audiobook for Second String Savior, my co-author Ari Carr, she had pages and pages of notes to send to the narrator, and I was kind of sitting there like, yeah, what she said. My normal advice is like, okay, what are your notes for the narrator? All right, do a good job. Don't do
your job.
Yeah. Do a good job. Don't suck.
Let me know if you have questions. Is my note for the narrators. No, I use Trello, which is a little note card website, which is great. I don't need a lot. But I do like basic like details like height, hair color, like little things. And like major bullet points. It's great. It's a little easy to organize board. And I like using it for plots, for characters, just as a good, simple, quick reference tool.
Yeah, if we're being real, I keep character description notes in Scrivener, and then once the book gets into edits, Melissa builds a Bible in Evernote for each series and shares the Bible with me and with the next round of editor and cover artist and audio narrator. So I make about 4 notes per character, like Drew said, height, hair color, eye color, and then Melissa pays attention to everything else and makes my life work. So
yeah,
I got people.
Yeah, that's more organized than me. I mean, when I'm writing a book and usually what I'll do is I'll have the book file in Word, like say everydayhorrors.docx, and then I'll have another file called like everyday notes. That will basically just like, it's just like essentially a scribble sheet for me where like I'll list characters mostly so that I remember like, like in certain cases how to spell their names. So I have a quick place I can copy and paste from. And yeah, I mean, I'll put down details there. If there's spells I want to remember, if there's like, monsters that appear that I want to like reference. Yeah, that's about it really.
And, it's good to have a place that, it's good to have a place to go back and look at names to make sure you haven't used the same name too many times, or names that sound the same too many times.
Oh, I do that all the fucking time. I'm horrible with that. I'll have like 16 characters whose names all start with an H.
Yeah, I'm so bad.
I had 3 Karens in the first run of Amazing Grace. 3 characters with the same name until edits. I was like, oh.
I was trying to think of fantasy names, and every time it just comes out Rothgar or something.
Or you could do what Drew did in his Shingles title with his Tonys.
Yeah, I loved that.
which is still one of my favorite things.
Yeah.
That was a joke that every time I think back on, I was like, that aged well. I like that. Oh, man. All right, do we have anything else to say for this week before we wrap it up?
Buy a ticket for VegasCon.
If you've somehow missed that shilling to this point, boy, you are good with the skip button, but we'll get you next time. We'll be back in a week with a side quest, and then in 2 with the 99th episode of Authors and Dragons. Only one more until the big 100 out in Vegas. So we hope you can join us, but if not, we'll be here providing content every week. Until next time, bye.
Goodbye. Bye.
Authors and Dragons is brought to you under a Creative Commons license, meaning you are free to share this material so long as credit is given to those who created it, which is us, the people you just heard play the game. Opening and closing themes performed by the Gore Core 4.
Authors and Dragons! Authors and Dragons!
You might get a fistful of Silas.